Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for watching. And in today's video, we are going to talk about the importance of having clarity in your vision for yourself as a woman. The importance of having clarity in your vision for yourself as a woman. We're going to illustrate this point by looking at an example. This may be backwards on camera, but I'll explain it. So, a lot of times we're right here. We're in the I want place. I want to be elegant. I want to be embodied. I want to be feminine. I want to be confident. I want to be magnetic. I want to be alluring. I want to make more money, right? I want a dream relationship. We can spend all day right here, right? Dreaming, hoping, wishing. But the problem is that when you are so focused on what you want without clarity, without specificity, it's going to be really hard for you to line up the dots to actually get here. So we have the I want, and then down here is kind of the end result, which when you actually ask clarifying questions for most people, um, that end result gets a little murky. So when you say things like, I want to be embodied, I want to have, a dream dating life. Okay, well, what would that look like for you? What is it that you really want to experience? Or I want to be more confident at work. Okay, in which areas? Where do you feel that you could improve? What would it look like to you? How do you want to feel? How do you want your relationships to improve? You have to get very clear on what it is that's down here. Otherwise, it's impossible to line up the dots to bring you to it. And so, this is what we do in Boss to Goddess Academy. Essentially, what my clients are learning is a way to bring about this process in themselves. You could call it manifestation, you could call it repetition, you could call it practice, skill development, whatever you want to call it. It's the same method. So, the clients in Boss to Goddess Academy are leveling up personally and professionally because we are getting really clear on our goals and what it is that we want to experience in our lives as women, both the qualities that we want to have in ourselves and sort of the experiences and relationships that we want to have with other people. We're getting really clear about what's in this box. And when you do that, now you can start to line up the dots and make a plan to lead you to it. I have seen a lot of manifestation content out on the internet, and I will go ahead and just say that manifestation is very real. I have manifested a lot in my life. The first thing that I manifested for myself was health. I've talked about this a number of times, and I'm not sure what the guidelines are on here, but I had a very serious ED. If you need clarification on what that stands for, just put it in the comments. But I had a very serious ED, okay? And I manifested my way back to health and made a full recovery, which I'm so thankful for. And then soon after, I manifested my very first job as a school teacher, which was my dream job at the time. I manifested my way into graduate school. I manifested my career as a pole dance teacher. I manifested retreats that I was hosting here in Nashville and internationally. I manifested all of that because I was very clear on what it is that I wanted, and I started making a plan to bring me to it. Okay. And that's where I think a lot of the manifestation content um, fails because anybody can have wants, anybody can have desires, anybody can talk about their wants and their desires and, feel really good about it. But in order to actually bring it about into your life, there needs to be something concrete and actionable that you can actually do that's bringing yourself closer to it each and every day. But if you're not clear on what it is that you want, it is hard to make the plan. So, for example, with my retreats, if I said, I just want to have a retreat, I want to have my own retreat. All right, that's one place to start, but let's get clear. I wanted to have a retreat for beginners. I wanted to have a retreat for beginners that focus not just on pole, but on dancing off the pole as well. I wanted to have a retreat that had amazing guest instructors that were very high level. I wanted to have a retreat that had a videography session for each client. I wanted to have a retreat that had parties or an evening activity to bring everyone together. Do you see where I'm going with this? I got very clear on the type of experience that I wanted to create, both for my clients and myself, and started to get really clear on my vision. Once I had a very clear vision, once it was demystified, okay, I want to have a retreat for beginners. I want to have a retreat with amazing guest instructors. I want to have a retreat that focuses on these types of skills, that has videography, that has a social component. Now, once I was very clear about that, I was able to line up the dots and make a plan, including a marketing plan, including the organizational plan, including, reserving all of the spaces and essentially bringing the entire thing into existence, right? I was able to organize and set up the steps that I needed to take in order to take this idea that was in my mind and manifest it in real life. And I did that successfully. I think I had 4 sold out retreats here in Nashville. So clarity is essential. And the reason why you're not getting clarity is because you're still battling whether or not you actually deserve it. You're still battling those feelings of self worth, and you're still battling a mindset that has been telling you that it shouldn't be that difficult for you. You are still battling the mindset that life is happening to you instead of understanding that you are creating your own life. So you're taking a very passive approach, and you are not honoring the time and practice it takes to go from I want to having. So, a lot of people in my community want to become more graceful and elegant. If you don't already know this, I was a pole dance teacher for 15 years. I grew up doing ballet. I started in grade school all the way through high school. I took dance in college. I've been a dancer and an athlete most of my life. Okay. So when I taught pole, everyone would say, "Oh my gosh, you're so graceful. It must be so easy for you." When I was younger, my first time on stage, in my very first Nutcracker ever, I was fortunate enough to perform with a prima ballerina from the New York City Ballet, okay? I saw her as the Sugar Plum Fairy and I said to myself, I want to be that graceful. I want to be that graceful. And I got very clear on the quality of movement that I desired and what it looked like, what it would feel like, and exactly what it would look like in movement and in feeling. And then guess what? I practiced every day instead of just saying, "Oh, I really want that," and assuming that I can just skip the steps that she took in order to have that grace, right? She's been practicing her entire career. So, what sense would it make for me to say, "Oh, I want that too. Let me skip the line and have it"? No, I had to do the exact same thing, which was practice as much as I could. And when I was in grade school, I was so serious about it that I used to stay up at night and practice in my room after everyone else had gone to sleep. So then when I was older and I started teaching pole, for people to say to me, "Oh, it must have been so easy for you." Easy where? Easy where? It was easy in the sense that I didn't have any resistance to practicing. I knew that if I wanted something, I could practice my way there. I could visualize it, I could think it, I could do it in real life. And eventually, if I did that enough times, it would only make sense that I could have it. I get to have it because I know I'm going to practice my way there. I know I'm going to line up the dots for myself. I'm very clear on what it is that I want and I understand how to get there. And so, what I'm going to do every single day is just move one foot in front of the other to get me closer to what it is that I said that I wanted. It's not that complicated. You're making it complicated because you're trying to skip, okay? You don't have any clarity about what's in this box, and therefore you can't create any clarity on how to get there. And the other thing is, when it comes to these habits, skills, qualities, etc., never assume that it was just easy for someone. What you're doing is discounting their experience, their time, their energy, their effort, their practice, whatever it is, by assuming that it was just easy for them. You can't want the result without wanting the practice. And that's the mistake that so many of you are making. You want the result without the practice. It doesn't work like that. You have to want the whole thing and you have to have clarity. So I hope this video helped you. Please let me know what you think in the comments below. And if you're interested in learning more about this skill and specifically using this skill to manifest feminine soft power so that you can transform on a personal and professional level and becoming more confident, graceful, and influential, then please consider joining Boss to Goddess Academy. I am accepting 5 students for the month of October. So if you're ready to get out of the wanting and actually having, because we're going to cover this part in the program and we're going to clarify even more for you that you want in your life and help you build the structure to get to it, then please check out the Boss to Goddess Academy and send me a message. You can email me, you can DM me on Instagram, and we'll talk more about it. But again, make sure to like this video, subscribe to my channel, and I will see you in the next one.